Hey everybody, it's Grip down here in the basement workshop. Want to do a quick video on my hunting season so far, little check-in on how things are going, and I just wanted to do a quick little video on the bucks that lived, the deer that made it. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I want to take a minute to explain my philosophy on self-filming. I'm not real interested in carrying big expensive cameras out to the woods. So I do my videoing on Tactacams. I have a wide angle that I usually have pointing to me, which doesn't pick up audio very well. So I'm not real big on doing those whispering tree interviews. I do very few of those. I've got another one that's on my bow, so it's always pointing where my bow is pointing. And on some of these video clips, you can actually see the broadhead in the video clip. And then I've got a 6.0 that I mount on a small arm that I point at where I think the shot is going to be. And I am a bow hunter first and a videographer second. If I don't get the shot on camera, then I don't get the shot on camera. I'll do my best, but I'm not gonna miss a shot on a deer just so I can get it on video, especially a nice buck. It's hard enough to put an arrow in a big mature whitetail buck, let alone try to get him on camera and get the arrow in him at the same time. Be a lot easier if I had a cameraman, but I don't. So that's how I operate. So you're not going to see any award-winning cinematic masterpiece when it comes to my hunting footage. I don't do a lot of B-roll. I don't have the majestic sunset and the various woodland creatures, sneaking around. I don't do video of me walking in or climbing the tree or any of that stuff. When I turn the cameras on, it's because there's whitetail in the area. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so this is one of my ground hunting spots, and this little guy came in from my right. You can see him coming right there, and I'm about 21 yards from him. And this is my spot when I got an east wind. I like to get down here on the ground and get tucked in that Osage stump, and they come right down that old logging trail. All right, this was out at our family property, and this youngster came in, and as you can see here, he's coming right to the base of my tree, and he's going to take a minute and sniff the objects that I left at the base of the tree, and even take a minute to smell my climbing sticks. And he never does look up. I jokingly told somebody later that I might have been able to kill him with a cinder block. Okay, this guy is going to be hard to see. He's a little 7-pointer, I believe, and it was so thick where I was in there. Again, this is the farm I've talked about before that got hit by the tornado, and so there's some places where it's almost too thick to bow hunt from a tree. But there he steps into the open area. Just caught a quick glimpse of him as he was moving through. This is that same area. Later that same day, actually, and I called this guy a little high and tight 8-pointer, and he came through a little closer this time. And I don't know if I could have got a shot at him, but he did come right where I was hoping. And now this one is even tougher. This was a nice 10, but again, the thickness of the cover makes it really hard for it to see him. But he's right there in front at the tip of my arrow, and he's headed down to a low spot that I noticed that the deer either head down to that low spot or they come out of that low spot quite a bit. So I did go down and investigate, and I have a future ground hunting hide that I have down in that area when the wind is just right. I'll have to try that out again. Now this one, we're back out the family farm, and this buck comes in and he was chasing a doe, and the doe's right behind my tree, and so he came in kind of mirroring her, and then she stopped and broke back to my right, and when she left, so did he. Now this one was actually just a few days ago, here on Thanksgiving break, and this buck headed down one of our ATV trails out here at the family property. And at this point, I'm trying to talk to my wide angle camera, but at this point, he is walking past one of my trail cameras. And here's the pictures that I got of him that morning. There you can see he's a pretty decent 8-pointer. And he is on his way to come see me when he walked past this camera and got his picture taken that morning. And so you can see him off there in the distance. And this is my, again, camera that is mounted to my bow. And I have my other camera pointed at my shooting lane that we'll switch to here in just a minute. I was talking to family members over Thanksgiving, and obviously with my family members, multiple family members who also hunt deer, that does seem to be the topic of conversation quite often. And I mentioned that this guy was moving really slow, almost as if he was just exhausted. And I don't know if he had a very busy rut, but he definitely was not setting any land speed records, that's for sure. And so here he comes down our ATV trail, and he is headed right for my shooting lane that I trim and cut every year for just this shot opportunity. And we're getting ready to switch camera angles as he walks right into that lane. And so here he steps into the lane, this point. This is probably when I would have come to full draw and given him a little, hey, right there, or a whistle, and that'd have been it. And then he continues his way down the trail, and we'll watch him here as he makes his way towards the property line. It's off there about 50 yards off to my right as I sit in that tree. There he is. He steps right up, and I've got a rope scrape, and he hits that rope like a licking branch, and then takes his time and reopens that scrape, and then meanders on along his way. So if you made it this far to the video, I appreciate you hanging in there. I'm sure as soon as I said that there were no whitetails harmed in the making of this video, the majority of people clicked onto the next video, probably went to that 20 mega whitetails shot in 20 minutes. You know, all they want to see is the arrow impact and be done. I didn't have any of those in this. So if you are still here, thanks for watching. Hopefully, I'll have something else where there will be some whitetail harmed in the making of a video coming up for the second half of my 2024 season. But if not, oh well, that's just how it goes. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys later.